Hi everyone, welcome to ASR Academy. So today I'm just going to explain you the second chapter from the textbook. So we have already discussed in the previous classes the different changes which occurs around us. Okay, that can be classified into physical and chemical change. So in your 7th class textbook, the last chapter changes around us, you may have learned. Okay, so far if you remember, the changes are of two types: physical and chemical change. So when a material undergoes a change like shape, size, color, or state without any formation of new substance, so it is called physical change. అంటే ఎక్కడైతే ఒక చేంజ్ జరుగుతుంది, the change may be in the shape, size, or the color or the state, but no new substance is formed. అంటే shape change కావచ్చు, size change కావచ్చు, some physical entity may be changed, but నో న్యూ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఈస్ ఫార్మ్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఫిజికల్ చేంజ్. అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా ఒక కొత్త సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఫామ్ అయిందనుకో, అప్పుడు దాన్ని కెమికల్ చేంజ్ అంటాం. కెమికల్ చేంజ్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్. ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ సమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ 10th class textbook, like you can follow seen some activities in your day-to-day life. Process of digestion, burning of crackers, process of respirations. Okay, powder lime added to water, ripening of mangoes, exploding of iron, rusting of iron. So these are the things which you have seen here. A new substance is formed. Okay, so these are nothing but they are not a temporary change, they are the permanent change. So we have noticed in the above activities, all the things which were given, they are the permanent change. So we can say that physical change is temporary and the chemical change is permanent. So in all the above process, the nature of the original substance would be changed. So we got the new product. Okay, and the properties also get changed from the original one. So here we'll have some activities. We'll be observing the activities and we'll discuss the different types of changes which we have seen from this activity. Okay, in the activity 1, what they are doing, they are just taking the quick lime. అంటే ఫస్ట్ యాక్టివిటీలో ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఒక గ్రామ్ క్విక్ లైమ్ తీసుకోవాలి ఒక బీకర్ లో. సో దెన్ యూ నీడ్ టు యాడ్ సమ్ 10 grams of 10 ml of water. ఒక బీకర్ లో 1 gram of క్విక్ లైమ్ అంటే సున్నం, వైట్ వైట్ కలర్ సున్నం వస్తుంది కదా బయట, అదే దానిలో 10 ml of వాటర్ యాడ్ చేయాలి. దాని తర్వాత బీకర్ ని మనం ఫింగర్ తో టచ్ చేస్తే విల్ నోటీస్ అంటే ఆ బీకర్ అనేది హాట్ ఉంది. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది, ఎప్పుడైతే కాల్షియం ఆక్సైడ్ ఈ వాటర్ తో రియాక్ట్ అయింది, సో అక్కడ హీట్ ఎనర్జీ రిలీజ్ అయింది. సో హీట్ ఎనర్జీ రిలీజ్ అయింది కాబట్టి సో ఇది ఎక్సోథర్మిక్ రియాక్షన్. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే కాల్షియం ఆక్సైడ్ వాటర్ లో డిజాల్వ్ అయినప్పుడు కలర్లెస్ సొల్యూషన్ అయింది. సో నౌ వీ హ్యావ్ టు టెస్ట్ ద థింగ్ విత్ ద లిట్మస్ పేపర్. సో లిట్మస్ పేపర్ దానిలో డిప్ చేస్తే మనకు ఆ సొల్యూషన్ అనేది బేసిక్ ఇన్ నేచర్ అని వచ్చింది. అంతే, కాల్షియం ఆక్సైడ్ అంటే మెటల్ ఆక్సైడ్స్. అంటే మెటల్ ఆక్సైడ్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఫామ్ అవుతాయి, ఎప్పుడైతే మెటల్ ఆక్సైడ్స్ వాటర్ తో రియాక్ట్ అవుతుంది మనకు మెటల్ హైడ్రాక్సైడ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. సో మెటల్ హైడ్రాక్సైడ్ అనేది బేసిక్ ఇన్ నేచర్. ఓకే, ఈ యాక్టివిటీలో మనకి ఏం అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఉంది, సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనం కాల్షియం ఆక్సైడ్ ని వాటర్ తో రియాక్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనకు కాల్షియం హైడ్రాక్సైడ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. ఆ కాల్షియం హైడ్రాక్సైడ్ ఏదైతే ఉంది అది హీట్ రిలీజ్ చేస్తుంది. అంటే ఇది ఎక్సోథర్మిక్ రియాక్షన్. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఏ న్యూ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఇస్ ఫార్మ్, వి గాట్ కాల్షియం హైడ్రాక్సైడ్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ they have also released the heat. So it is an example for exothermic reaction. And also they have tested the solution with the litmus paper. They found that they are basic in nature. You will come to learn in the third chapter how to test the acid or base. We'll have a litmus paper. So litmus paper blue color, red నుంచి blue color అయిపోయింది అనుకో, blue color will indicate basic in nature. So ఇక్కడ ఒక ఏం అర్థమైందంటే మెటల్ హైడ్రాక్సైడ్స్ ఆర్ బేసిక్ ఇన్ నేచర్. నెక్స్ట్ ఇన్ సెకండ్ యాక్టివిటీలో మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే ఒక 100 ml ఆఫ్ బీకర్, దానిలో ఏమో సోడియం సల్ఫేట్ కలపాలి. ఓకే, యూ హ్యావ్ టు డిజాల్వ్ ద సోడియం సల్ఫేట్ in a 100 ml beaker. In another beaker, you have to take another beaker, take some small quantity of barium chloride and add with the 100 ml of water. So now we'll have a 2 beakers, right? So 2 beakers, the 2 solution, barium, both have their own color. So when you mix this both the solutions, we'll get a white color precipitate is formed. As you can see in the picture, a white color precipitate is formed which is insoluble in water. Ante idi water lo soluble gaadu. This one is a white color precipitate which is undissolved or soluble in water. So ikkada em ayyindante manaku second activity lo oka white color precipitate form ayindi, kotta substance form ayindi. So idi chemical reaction. Next activity 3 em chesukovalante, you have to take a conical flask In a conical flask, you need to put some zinc granules, few zinc granules. Then you have to add 5 ml of diluted hydrochloric acid. సో దీనిలో జింక్ గ్రాన్యూల్స్ వేసి దానిలో కొన్ని హైడ్రోక్లోరిక్ యాసిడ్ వేయాలి 5 ml. సో కొంచెం సేపు అయిన తర్వాత మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే బన్నీ మ్యాచ్ స్టిక్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు టేక్ నియర్ ద మౌత్ ఆఫ్ ద కోనికల్ ఫ్లాస్క్. కోనికల్ ఫ్లాస్క్ మౌత్ దగ్గర తీసుకోపోతే సో విల్ అబ్జర్వ్ ఏ పాప్ సౌండ్. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే ఆగిపోతుంది. ఇక్కడ ఏమైందంటే దిస్ ఇస్ హైడ్రోజన్ గ్యాస్ ఇస్ రిలీజ్. సో నేను నీకు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పిన హైడ్రోజన్ గ్యాస్ ఎవరికైనా పెట్టారు Cavendish. Okay, we have a same experiment in the 7th class textbook. You can find there. Okay, now here we have observed that a gas is evolved. Okay, so see, in the first activity we have seen heat is released, second activity and white clear precipitate is formed. In third activity we have evolution of gas. So we can say that whenever an original substance lose their characteristics and they will form some different products with different physical quantity and color. So అప్పుడు మనం ఏమనొచ్చు, అది ఒక కెమికల్ చేంజ్, న్యూ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. ఇంకోటి అంటే కెమికల్ చేంజ్ అనేది ఎండోథర్మిక్ ఉండొచ్చు, ఎక్సోథర్మిక్. ఎండోథర్మిక్ అంటే హీట్ ని గెయిన్ చేస్తుంది, ఎక్సోథర్మిక్ అంటే హీట్ ని రిలీజ్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఎక్కడైనా మనకి హీట్ రిలీజ్ అయింది అనుకో, గెయిన్ అయిందనుకో, సో దాన్ని మనం కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్ అనుకోవచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ యాక్టివిటీలో మనకు వైట్ కలర్ ప్రిసిపిటేట్ ఫామ్ అయింది. సో వెనెవర్ అండ్ వైట్ కలర్ ప్రిసిపిటేట్ ఇస్ ఫామ్, వీ కెన్ సే దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ కెమికల్ reaction. Not only that, in the third activity we have seen a gas is evolved. So these are some factors, okay, like evolution of gas, evolution of heat, white color precipitate is formed. If their new substance is formed with the different physical states and color, or the states or color, so we can say that it is a chemical change. So chemical reaction. So now it's the chemical equation, right? So next topic is the chemical equation. The chemical equation is nothing but it is the representation of chemical change. So in the further activity we have seen some changes are happen. To represent these chemical changes, we will be taking the help of the chemical equation. So you can say the chemical equation is the short representation of the chemical change. So let me explain about the chemical equation. So in chemical equation, see, they have written it can be written in the shorted form and the word form. So chemical equation is nothing but it is a shortest representation of chemical change. So in the first activity we have calcium oxide plus water, right? So calcium oxide ni water to mix jese we got calcium hydroxide. So you can see here chemical equation has two parts. Left side we have reactant, right side we have product. So left side part is known as reactants. The materials which undergoes reaction, they are known as reactants. The substance which undergoes chemical reactions, ఏవైతే రియాక్షన్ చేస్తున్నాయి అవి రియాక్టెంట్స్. ఏదైతే కొత్తగా ప్రోడక్ట్ ఫామ్ అయింది దాన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్ అంటాం. A chemical reaction can be written in the word equation. This is word equation, right? So next topic we'll be learning how to write the word equation in the chemical formula. Okay, so left side will have reactant, right side will have a product, and between will have an arrow mark. This arrow mark will represent that a new substance is changed, ante ee reactant anedi product ayindi. And in between the reactants we are using this plus sign. This plus sign is used when we have more than one reactant on product. So the next one is writing a chemical equation. So how to write a chemical equation? If you want to write the chemical equation from the word equation, so first we'll have a word equation. Okay, any activity or any chemical changes happen, so we'll have a word equation. So we'll know what are the reactants, what are the products. So if you know the reactants, product and word equation, then we can write the chemical equation. So chemical equation can be used written with the help of chemical formulas. So what are chemical formulas? So if I take you to the 9th class textbook, in the 9th class textbook you have an chemical formulas, right? So I think you have remembered the ions. You know ions? The ions are of two types, cation and anions. The metals will form the cation and non-metals will form the anions. Cations are formed due to the losing of electron. Anions are formed due to the gaining the electrons. So cations are positive, anions are negative charge. So here we have an cation and anion. With the help of this cation and anion, so we have to perform this crisscross method. So I think so far you have remembered. Suppose if you want to write the formula for hydrochloric acid, what is the hydrogen H plus? Chlorine is C minus 1. So we have to crisscross. We'll get the HCl. Next, if you want to write the formula for magnesium chloride, so we have to write Mg plus 2, chlorine Cl minus 1. Then you have to perform crisscross. So we'll get MgCl2. Okay, this is a way how we have to perform the crisscross method. And if you want to write the word equation in the chemical equation, we have to take the help of this chemical formulas. అంటే ఈ కెమికల్ ఫార్ములాస్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఈ కెమికల్ ఫార్ములాస్ అందరికీ రావాలి. ఎట్లా రావాలంటే మనం క్రిస్ క్రాస్ మెథడ్ చేయాలి. క్రిస్ క్రాస్ మెథడ్ చేయాలంటే ఏం రావాలి? We should know what are this ions. If you know these ions, then it is very easy to write the chemical equations. Okay, it is very easy to write the chemical equation or chemical formulas. If you are able to write the chemical formulas, then you are easily able to write the chemical equation. Okay, so I think we have no doubt. So next one is writing a chemical equation, right? The chemical equation will be given in the word form, so we have to write with the chemical formula. The formula of the calcium oxide is CaO, water is H2O, calcium hydroxide is CaOH. Okay, so this is how we'll write the chemical equation. The next topic is balancing the chemical equation. This is very, very important. So now we have a question, why we have to balance the chemical equation. See, as per the law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms at the reactant should be equal to proton. Ante left side lo any number of atoms unnai, right side lo kuda anni numbers of atoms undali. Idi law of conservation of mass. Ante according to law of conservation of, the total mass of the product formed in the reaction must be equal to the total mass in the reactants. So to that we are balancing the for equation. So is okay, we have a thing here. If we have an unbalanced equation, we have a name for the unbalanced equation. If the total number of atoms in the left sides are not equal to the right sides, then it is known as unbalanced equation. We have another name for this unbalanced equation is skeletal. Okay, so now you can see here in the first example. So let me take you to the first example. Let me open the highlighter. So you can see here the first example is H2 plus O2. So left side we have two hydrogens, two oxygen, but right side we have only two hydrogens, one oxygen. So right side one hydrogen is less when compared to the left. Okay, when you compare to the left, the one hydrogen is left or the right side. So this is unbalanced. Okay, the total number of atoms in the left side is not equal to right side. So reactants lo two oxygens ఉన్నాయి, product lo one undi. So to balance that, we have to write a number as a coefficient in front of the this molecule, water molecule. So they are writing 2. If I write 2 here, so now we can see that left side we have two hydrogen, sorry, 2 to the 4 hydrogen, right side only 2. So now we have to add one more coefficient as 2 here. Next, here we have two oxygens, here also we have two oxygen. Okay, so this is how we'll balance the equation. Okay, here we can see that this is an unbalanced equation. For this unbalanced equation, they have given the name as skeleton or skeletal. Okay, so in the some of the textbook you'll find the name as a skeletal. In some of the for textbook you'll find the name as a skeleton. So next, let me take you so these are the steps how to balance the equation. This is very, very important for your exam point of view. You just take the help of this above equations, right? So next topic is how to make the chemical equation more informative. So if you want to next, okay, let me revise the thing. So first step is, what is a chemical reaction? So chemical reaction is nothing but, if anything, if you find any factors like new substance is formed, or if you observe heat is released or heat is gained, or you may have found any observe like insoluble precipitate is formed or gas is evolved. If any one of the factors, if you observe, we can say that it is a chemical reaction. To represent the chemical reaction, we are taking the help of the chemical equation. Okay, so after writing the chemical equation, we have to write, next topic is writing the chemical equation. If you want to write the chemical equation, we have to take the help of this crisscross method, which you have learned in your 9th class, right? So with the help of this crisscross method, we'll find the how to write the chemical names, name of the chemical formulas. So once if you know how to write the chemical equation, so then we need to balance the chemical equation. So balancing the chemical equation is more important. Okay, and also in the 9th class, you have learned the different types of reactions. Okay, like combination reactions. What is a combination reactions? When two or more reactions combine, we'll get a single product. We'll get a combination reaction. Here we can see magnesium and oxygen combined. We got magnesium oxide. Decomposition is opposite to the combination reaction. Okay, where single compound will decompose into two or many. See here we have calcium carbonate. Okay, when it is heated, we got calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, this is a decomposition. Simply we have displacement and double displacement. In displacement, one atoms get displaced. In double displacement, two atoms get displaced. So far you have learned in the 9th class. Okay, so this will be helping you somewhat while completing the equation. If only reactants are given, if you want to write the products, then you need to take the help of that different types of reactions. Okay, the balancing the chemical equation is more important. So last topic is, you can say, how to make the chemical equation more informative. Okay, this is more important. The first one is you need to write the physical state. Suppose if I take this example here, they have given the example when ferrous oxide is react with aluminum, will got ferrous plus aluminum oxide. So here you can see that the ferrous oxide in solid state they have represent plus S. Okay, if the present in the solid state you have to write S. If it is present in the liquid state you have to write L. If it is present in the gas state we have to write Z. Okay. So next we have a fourth one. If any substance it is dissolved or mixed with the water is present in the water, then we have to write a word as aqueous, or you can write the symbol as AQ. If any heat, okay, if any heat is released you need to put in above the arrow marks. Okay, next first one is physical quantity, next one is heat. Next let me see the example of heat. So here you can see if any heat is released during the reaction, if any heat is released, so it is known as exothermic reaction, we'll write plus Q. If any heat is gained we have to write then the reaction minus Q. You can see here they have represent their physical states: gas, 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 solid, gas, gas. And if the heat is released, you need to write plus Q. If heat is observed, you have to write minus Q. Next, in the second activity, we have seen, sorry, third activity, we have seen when zinc is mixed with hydrochloric acid, we got hydrogen gas. Okay, not only that, whenever any metal will react with acid, we'll get salt and hydrogen gas. Whenever gas is released, you have to put this arrow mark, upward arrow mark. This upward arrow mark will represent any, whenever this gas is released, we have to represent this upward arrow mark. Next one is, in the second activity we have seen a white color precipitate is formed, right? When barium chloride and sodium sulfate get mixed. So we have seen a white color precipitate is formed. Whenever a white color precipitate is formed, you have to put downward arrow. Okay, downward arrow. This is not represent here, downward arrow. You have to write downward. And next is indicating if any in any reactions, if you are using sun, if you are using the process of heating like using sunlight, you have to mention that above the arrow mark. If any reactions like conditions like temperature or pressure or any catalyst is added during the reactions, you can represent above this arrow mark. Okay, this is how to make the chemical equation more informative. Okay, he may ask in the exam, you have to write their physical state, you have to write the, if heat is released or gas is released or any precipitate is formed, you have to indicate that. These are the things which will make the information more, chemical equation more informative. The next topic is you have the balancing, right? See, you have some interpretation of balanced equation. So whenever any balanced equation is given, so there we can calculate the mass, volume and number of molecules. Okay, in the textbook you can find 2 to 3 examples, right? So these all the examples I will be explaining on the board. Okay, so next video I will be explaining the how to calculate the mass, this mass relationship, volume and mass, volume and number of molecule relationships. So here, so far in the 9th class you have learned about the Avogadro number, right? So let me revise. So these are the things which you see. This mole is a unit of the, this is a mu. Okay, you can say this molar mass, this mole is a unit, right? So 1 mole can be expressed as 6.022 into 10 power 23 number of molecules. And you can say that in the 1 mole, we have this many number of molecules and we have an capacity, right? So if you talk the weight of 1 mole, so 1 mole will take 6.022 into 10 power 23 number of molecules, and it has a capacity of 22.4 liters of volume. So we'll discuss this all the things while solving these problems. And please like and share and subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you.